What's up, everyone? So, I wanted to address one of the questions everyone kept asking me about my move back to Florida, and it is, why am I keeping this house? And I want to just say really quickly my thoughts on why I'm going to still keep this house for at least the first year. And one of the number one reasons why I don't want to do anything with this house for a year is I am not bringing any of this stuff with me when I move back to Florida. Not any of the furniture, the window treatments, the dishes, none of it. It's all going to stay in this house. And you might be like, why the hell are you doing that? Which will be my second reason is it is very expensive to rent a U-Haul truck. And I also have to have my son fly him in, and he has to help me pack it. And then we have to drive the U-Haul truck down, pay tolls, pay gas, and then he helps me unload it. And then I have to fly him from Florida back to Massachusetts. So it's very expensive to do that. It's at least $2,000 for the truck, the gas, the flights, feeding my son, all of it. Like, it's an all expense paid trip for him. You also got to remember, he's getting married. He has a job. He has a daughter. To coordinate the time to come down here for a weekend, and we have to rush. We got 48 hours to get it there. Just is not worth it for me. I much rather take the $2,000 that I would spend and go buy a brand new bed and buy a couch. Everything else, TV, hard surface stuff like a table or a nightstand or a bureau, that can all be bought secondhand. As for like cups, plates, bowls, I mean, you can go to any Dollar Tree or Walmart and pretty much furnish your whole kitchen setup for, I don't know, maybe a couple $100. So it really doesn't make sense for me to bring all of these things back down to Florida where they were originally. So I want to keep my house fully furnished and just take the important sentimental things, my pictures, clothes, my dog, just that stuff. Everything else will stay just like this. So yeah, it's much cheaper for me just to leave everything here. And the third reason is if I do decide to rent it out, I think I want to do short-term rental just for the season. And the season here is like April to October. That I live in a pass-through town that goes to the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks to rent there for a week is some places are $5,000 for like a shabby house. Some places are $15,000 for like a McMansion on the beach. I wouldn't even be that much, and you're only an hour and 10 minutes away. So I think I may short-term rental the house if I decide, like, after I've been in Florida for a year and I'm like, you know what, I want to keep the North Carolina house. I'm going to short-term rent it. I will have it fully furnished with everything in it. I won't have to buy any furniture for it. It can be totally rented out just as is. So it makes sense for the first year for me to keep it for those reasons. Yeah, it would be nice to sell it and take that money, which isn't even that much really. It's only like $45,000 after all is said and done. It is a nice chunk of change to put down on something, but unless I'm buying something, that $45,000 will be gone. It will just slip through my fingers out the window, and we all know how fast that money will go. So that is why I do not want to rent this house out. And of course, it's a safety net. I own it. Nobody's in it. I can come back anytime. What if I'm having a horrible couple of weeks there and I just want to get away? I can just go back to the North Carolina house. Not a big deal. Just come back here and spend a couple days here and maybe just regroup. It's nice to have it, and it's nice to have a security blanket. And this is my security blanket. At 50 years old, so many people, including myself at times, feel so unsettled and like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I mean, the world's crazy. I want to have this, and I don't want to get rid of it. So that is why I don't want to rent it out, and I want to keep it empty for the first year, is for those reasons. So yes, for those of you who wanted to know, those are why.